Yeah, so the the process from going to college to the pro level is a bit different. So you have agents that approach you like towards the end of your college career, and they put forth what they can do for you in terms of what countries they're linked to and teams that they have that might be interested. So my mentor, Coach Sean, him he introduced me to an agent that I stayed with my whole career.
Hmm.
So yeah, she gave me a chance to play in Portugal for my first contract, which was
Before you get so far ahead, this, you know, so remember, you move out of you move out of the nest and you went to Missouri. But
hmm
Missouri, I just right away ask. And then from Missouri, you went to Chicago. And
yeah
in Chicago, you had, even though you were far away from home, you had support because you had cousins over there who came through and make sure, say, feel like, you're commoners.
yeah.
But no, someone will tell us, say, I have an opportunity over you for you over Portugal. What, like, how did you process that? Was that like, yeah, I'm ready? Or, damn, this is like overseas. How did you process that?
At first it was intimidating, as I feel like it would be for anybody. It's a
Yeah,
foreign country, different language, different
different language,
culture.
yeah.
So I feel like it was something initially when she first said it, it was hesitant, but
Mm-hmm.
then my mindset just it is like a flip just switched back on, and it's just like, all right, when do I leave?
When do I leave? Love that. Love that thought. And so you went to Esguera
hmm
in for the 2018-2019 season.
Yeah,
Where in Portugal is that located?
it's in Aveiro, right on the
Aveiro.
beach.
Beautiful, beautiful look at town, eh?
hmm
Um, Talk to us. You reach out Portugal. What's your first impression? How are you? How are you? You know, assimilating. Talk to us about that whole process.
Initially, it was kind of hard to get used to, especially because of the language barrier.
Hmm.
So usually, teams they'll have like specific guys that translators, you could say. So especially with the coaches and everything, there was a kind of a little bit of language barrier there. So you had to figure things out. But uh, a lot of and actually my first year, I was told a lot from a lot of guys that played overseas before. I'd spoke to some guys about it, the experience and everything. They were saying like you have some veterans on your team that know how to work the system being over there. But my first year, everybody that was their first year, all the imported guys, Americans, it was everybody first year. So we were just in it, learning it together, and
Yeah.
so that was difficult
So
off the.
at least, pops, you had familiar faces in the sense of Americans and
Mm,
people who you can relate to there. So that must have made it a little bit easier, was
yeah,
didn't it?
definitely, definitely, definitely. I
And
feel
it,
like we
it
were
didn't
there.
it never hurts you're up on the beach.
No, always a good thing.
Always a good thing. What was that season like there?
The season was I would say it was one of my better seasons. It was rocky to begin with because I feel like every level you go up, there's a difference from the last level. So the speed of the
Yeah.
game, the physicality. But I feel like once I adjusted, it was like I just hit the ground running.
Was it because this is Europe and in the Portuguese league, was it second division or first?
First division.
First division. But did it feel like it was a level above? college football? Because college basketball, because college basketball kind of intense.
Not really. No. I felt like college basketball had some physical players. I didn't really see the big jump from
Exactly.
um yeah from college to playing in Portugal.
So that made it a little bit easier. Now,
Yeah,
it's widely believed that European players are more technical than American players. Is that your understanding and belief?
yeah. I would say so. Yeah, their feel for the game, the way they play is a lot more technical for compared to the American players.
Yeah, yeah. Now, so would you deem that year? It says here that you average. Listen, the internet I lie at sometime, so you can tell me if I lie. Them I tell. It says here that your average at the square was 11.47 points per game. Sounds about right,
About right
which is not bad for a first year professional player.
at all.
Right now, obviously, you must have thought you needed to work at your game a little bit better or make some more money because in that off season you you came and you went to Canada, the Vancouver Bandits.
hmm
Why you never take that summer off? Why you felt like you had to go to Canada?
It's just I felt like I needed more experience. I didn't want to stop playing and just went home and work out because the best training I feel like is game training. So I feel like I needed the experience, and then I went overseas. I went to Canada and uh played against some really good guys that play in very big leagues over in Europe. So I feel like the experience was good.
What are the big leagues in Europe?
So each country they have like a top league, but the main league a lot of people know is like the Euro League. That's
Yeah,
just the top league. Some of the best teams in the top league in countries they play in that league.
yeah. It's almost like the
So
Champions League.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
So was that a beneficial summer for you?
yes and no. I feel like I got some experience playing against some bigger guys, some more physical guys. But that I got hurt that summer.
Really?
So yeah,
Didn't know about
I
that.
I had a pretty significant injury too. So I
What
ended
kind
up
of injury
playing
was it?
through it. I sprained my MCL.
Really?
Yeah.
So, um, to my audience, my son is a supremely private person. Enough time. So this information, me just know, hey, don't show the messenger. Never. So, you know, but you did recover sufficiently from that injury.
Honestly, I mean with a sprained MCL, I usually out a couple weeks. I only miss one game.
Okay, okay. So now here comes 1920 season. You go to Vancouver, go bad them up, and your agent tell you say there's an interest from you in Spain at Real Murcia.
hmm
Tell us about that.
I mean, coming off the season from Vancouver from the Bandits, you kind of as a player you're kind of in limbo during that time, so you don't really know what can happen, where you're gonna go, who might have some interest. So when I got that call, it was kind of a no brainer for me. I knew the potential there could be from going there.
What league was this in Spain?
This was in the Silver League in Spain.
So the second division, pretty much.
Yeah,
And you played against some of the teams you played against, like Real Madrid and 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 some of the because most of the soccer teams in Spain have a basketball team in it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you got a chance to travel to these places and see these cities. Tell us a little bit about Spain, man. Enough local Jamaicans that watch us right now would dream of them places, man. Talk to
No, Spain is a beautiful place, and the like I said, we had played Barcelona, and we went out and saw the city, get to enjoy the culture a little bit. And each city have their own history.
yes.
So being able to experience a little part of their history was something that I enjoyed a lot.
Um, it seems though that well, actually, your um your percentages dropped a little bit, a couple of points at Rima said, 10.92 average points. But just so the audience understand, your strong point was really in the defensive field. You
Hmm.
were a rebounder and you were a shot blocker.
Yeah,
And this is where you excel. Um, well, how would you view that season in Spain?
I thought it was a great season, because like I said, my numbers dropped a little bit, but it was the fact that I had certain players around me that I didn't have to be the guy to do everything for the team. Like that year, we had some really good players that played around me, and that affected my numbers a little bit, but I don't think in a negative way at all, because uh, we ended up winning that league, first place.
Really?
Yeah,
Probably I remember this because okay. Yeah, you know what?
yeah,
You're absolutely right. Okay.
yeah, because that was the year COVID happened, so we didn't finish the season.
I was gonna get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you spent 2 seasons in Murcia, right?
Hmm.
Now, speak to us about COVID, 2020. And I remember, so you got promoted in the first year.
Hmm.
And I'm going to run with it, say, you bring them over the edge and get them promotion. If my son never did it, them are still a link at them at the bottom. So,
I mean, I'm
so
not lie.
let's just run it. Of course. I
I'm
mean,
not
come
lie.
on, this is what we do. Now, you're in Spain and COVID hits worldwide.
Hmm.
What what was the thought process at that time? Did you were you thinking this is nothing serious? Or were you thinking I got to get the hell out of here? What was happening in Spain with you at that time?
Say at that point, me in a yard man kicking. I say, I make up nice for no reason, man. I was this little flu, but you know, but Spain was the experience was different. Like everything shut down, streets shut down. You had a curfew. You couldn't be outside past certain time,
Mm,
and then because they weren't allowing people inside and outside the country, so we were stuck there for like a month before they could actually get
yes.
us back home.
Because
So
I
we were
remember
just.
reaching out to you in this moment also, because I was, of course I'm very worried about it because the
Hmm.
the the news that's coming out is amazing. You're seeing I remember explicitly in Italy where and this number sticking on my head for some reason, stuck in my head for some reason. 7,000 people a day were dying.
Hmm.
And I'm like, it's, New York, them are put bodies in the freezers and trucks, refrigerated trucks and all these things. So I'm like, of course, I'm like, CJ, are you good? What's going on? What was your fear level at that, these moments, boss?
Yeah, once I heard about the numbers coming in, like I said, from Italy, like that's when it started to get serious for me.
Mm,
I was just telling, I was trying everything I could to get home. Talking to coaches, talking to my agents, seeing if there was any possibility, because some countries they started sending the Americans back
back
because you
home,
can't,
yeah.
yeah, you can't hold them. So in my situation, I was just a little worried. because I didn't know where where I would fall in that sense. So I was just trying my best just to get home at that point.
And then you ended up catching COVID over there.
Hmm.
That must have been like that diagnosis must you must have been like, oh my God.
Terrible, terrible. My that was the first time because I ever feel my heart drop. But you know, up to this point, I mean, I've had COVID 3 times.
Really?
3 times. The first time we had COVID, the whole team catch COVID because practicing together. Once one person get it,
Yes.
everybody get it. So the
Yes.
whole team had COVID. We were having virtual workouts through Zoom in our apartment. So it was just it felt like another day, honestly. Like COVID that time was not bad for me, but the after effects you kind of felt that like the respiratory thing.
Did did you ever lose anyone in the team around team in those days?
No, we didn't.
Okay, good. That's a good thing. So 2 years in Spain, you single-handedly promoted the team from the second division to the first division. And but you is like you's a man of my own heart. It's on to the next challenge.
Mhm.
So you took up an offer in Argentina,
Mhm.
Oberia Tennis Club, and you took the long journey over to Argentina for a year.
Yeah.
Now I remember speaking to you on camera and video a few times, and this is when I realized the soli- the solitude and the distance started
Mhm.
affecting you to some effect.
This some more while I can't even focus. Me just did the I just say, John know something on there right now. We played 2 exhibition game couple days ago, and the whole time during the game, usually when I play basketball, I lost in the game. But these couple times it's just like I'm just out there run up and down.
What was that Argentinian experience like? Because you tell me a story about that experience. This is a, a best-selling novel story, but talk to me about that experience in Argentina.
Yeah, so like I said, the solitude was just a lot of places I played before. Where I was able to socialize a bit, go out with the teammates, experience different places. But Argentina was just the specific place I was in was a place far north of Argentina in Misiones. There's not much to do out there. Like it's just a place where if you're going there to play basketball, a basketball. That's it.
Remote.
Remote. So it was just a point where after a while, like a lot of people say start going dark. I guess it started to go dark for me. Like it was just practice at home, and then mentally I just started to give up. And once your mental gone,
Yes.
your production on the court is just it's hard to keep both of those. Like if one is down, the other one is down. So you have to try
Yeah.
your best to keep them both on the same level. So that was what I was fighting with the whole time, and it was rough that year.
But you still managed to keep your averages up to where you normally are. You had almost 11 points per game average during this period. And you told me a story of so the person who owned this team, I hope they're not hunting me down at some point when they see this. The person who owned this team was, for lack of a better phrase, not the most law-abiding citizen,
Hmm.
but he was a billionaire per se.
Yeah.
You told me a story of, you guys used to travel and their plane, his private plane, to games. And as you were about to land, coming back from one of these games, the plane literally almost touched down. I had to take off right back. The pilot have to pull up like it's an emergency because police and soldier was swarmed at the freaking airport to lock up this man who was on the plane with you guys as you were returning.
Yeah, just say, like I said, it was it wasn't even an airport. He just had this landing strip on this piece of land where
So
where
it
landing
wasn't
usually.
even that airport, our landing
No,
strip.
just a landing strip. Nothing else, nothing in the field but the landing strip. So we were landing, and then something happened, and we end up taking off back, and then we look down, and it's just swarm. And then I want to say we end up landing at the actual airport and driving back, and then the next day they said, then tell us that we can get raided and all this other stuff. It was crazy.
Listen, I listened to you tell me that story. I actually still have that because I screen record my phone automatically screen record cards, you know. So that I was watching back that video of this conversation, and I'm like, you have a tale to tell, Pops, and this is one of the reasons why you are here tonight because this is information, this is gold, this is verbal gold.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And people can understand the levels of sacrifice that you have made to in your pursuit of career and goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you spent a year in Argentina, and just as you think it's gonna get better, here comes 22, 23, and you end up in Turkey.
Hmm.
Finalspor Genlik, Turkey,
Hmm.
Far East. How was that?
Turkey's I enjoyed Turkey. Turkey was a decent place. Food was pretty good, but as you know, a lot came with the air. A lot.
Oh my God. Now, just about the time when Brittany Grima, that's her name, the WNBA
Mhm.
player that was arrested in Russia and went through hell. Just about that time that Brittany was there locked up. Turkey is run by an autocratic government, Erdogan, uh, a quote unquote dictator. You were at your apartment and cops burst in and tried to arrest you, claiming that you were a fugitive. What? Tell my audience about that experience, please, sir.
Man, so uh, one morning, sleep, dead sleep. Hear this bang on the door, just beating on the door. So I'm going look through people. My sister said police. So instantly, the first thing we do is take my phone out. I call the translator, and I put it on speaker and just rest it on the little side table by the door. I open the door. I'm speaking Turkish. I don't understand anything. Only thing I understand, they said a name. I can't remember what the name was. I think it was like James or something. And I'm saying, no, no, Clint, Clint. So I had the guy on the phone, like trying to translate, but them not hear nothing. By that time, up against the wall, hand behind the back. And then the translator just did their yell and to try to get them to understand, say, I'm not the guy that they're looking for. So apparently, the guy that played there the year before me, him and his wife get caught up in a something.
So
And I
there
think,
was an American player for
mm-hmm,
the same team
mm-hmm,
in the previous year, and him and his wife do some BS over there and
mm-hmm,
abscond, runway, Lego gone, fugitive. And all them here was, oh, there's another black man, basketball player from America in the same apartment. I must him.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, then jack you up on the wall, prison business. Me they look in my mind, me look on 25 year. And I'm saying to myself, wherever Jamaica to find the war plane them from, we have to war Turkey. Because there's no way this is gonna work out. But thankfully that got resolved.
Mm-hmm.
There is also, sir, I don't know, many know say you're a bad man. There was also an incident on the court where your coach was assaulted in the dressing room, and you, as a junior Robbins, had to show hands and pretty much get these guys up off of your coach.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the audience a little bit about that. Pretty
So
much you
no,
get a big fight over the boss. I don't want to say it out loud, but me say it out now. Go ahead.
so so you know, say is a self defense thing.
Of course.
Yeah, self defense thing. So, we end up winning a game. I mean, I know one thing other team, everybody over there match they lose, but they never have a chance to begin with. So we are walk in the locker room. The coaches walk behind us to keep a separation between the both teams because the locker rooms are in the same general direction.
Mm-hmm.
So we get into our locker room. Two other coaches come in behind us. One coach is by the door, making sure everybody is in. So their players pull our coach into the hallway and had a couple guys holding our team door, and them just out there beat up a coach. We not have no idea what go on for like 30 seconds. We just hear punches at you outside. We then realize say hey, him missing. So we get the door open and we just sit them out there with our teammate. And then I don't know what happened. The first thing clicking on me, I just punch somebody. So I walk
You
out
gotta
and
get active
just start swing. And then it was just a whole big situation. I almost get arrested again. This stuff.
again.
But
Another prison walk.
self defense thing that. But it was just an unfortunate event. But
So that one thing was adjudicated, and they found that you acted in self-defense.
mhm. Even the day after, the president for my team came to my apartment and brought me some, like they call it. It's like a dessert to show like gratitude, saying thanks
But
for helping out the coach
is
and
it
everything.
black klavla?
Yeah, baklava.
Black klavla. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of my favorite. It's a Greek. It's very popular in Greece and Turkey and
Mm-hmm.
Crete and southern Croatia. No, so Papa Son, you had quite an eventful number of years playing overseas. Um, by my account, you gave them 5 years on the professional circuit.
Mm-hmm.
What was your best experience as a pro?
I would say probably Spain winning that league. It
Marcia?
was yeah, there was a lot that came behind that. There was you know rankings, preseason rankings, teams, other guys outside of the league who say that our team was they didn't see us making it anywhere in the league. So we took that season very personal. So that
Yes.
season was a very special season for me.
What's your so obviously that's your biggest achievement as a player and your best experience being overseas. What is your most what is the you know we touched on a couple of incidents in in Spain, in I'm sorry, in Turkey and in Argentina. But there must be something else where you have in the archive there. Well, we know, me don't know about, so I couldn't speak on. What is the most eventful incident that you've witnessed overseas?
Eventful.
I don't think it can get more eventful than these police interactions still. But if there's one more, let us know.
Ah, so besides Turkey and liquor incident in Argentina, everywhere else I've been was pretty quiet. But like Portugal, where I was a party city, party. So you
I'll
don't
tell you
really.
something else. Let me throw something in that was very eventful on the world stage. You were in Portugal when that big earthquake hit in Turkey actually.
Turkey, yeah.
When that big earthquake hit in southern Turkey,
Mhm.
killed even killed that Ghanaian professional footballer Atsu
Mhm.
and hundreds of people, in fact thousands of people. And I remember speaking to you, and you told me that you felt the tremors as far away as you were.
Mhm.
So those were eventful times also.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So the earthquake actually there was two major earthquakes in Turkey, but
Yeah,
while I was there, there was three. There was one actually in the city I was in, but it wasn't that big. It was just light tremors.
yeah,
But the major ones was crazy. It shut down the whole country.
yeah. I
You know,
remember.
yeah, because we postponed our season for maybe a month and a half.
Yes,
A lot of that time we spent um, gathering stuff, trying to send there. We had little food drives, clothes drives. So a lot of the time went to trying to help out the other side of the country.
but now yeah, that was a really terrible times. I remember that. Now, Bob, if you were to give someone who's listening to this and draw an inspiration from this conversation, if you were to give advice to someone who is aspiring to follow this pathway, if it's not football, if it's not basketball, if it's not track, but just wherever their the journey takes them, what would what kind of advice would you give that look at youth up on the corner, up on Granville, up at Salisbury, or on the yard right now? What kind of advice would you give them in terms of pursuing their dreams and believing in themselves?
Uh, Basically, it's always a way. Like, don't ever make where you are or what you don't have stop you from pursuing it. Because I mean, look at me. There's always a way to get to where you want to be. Like, it might not be the road you want to take, but there's always a way around it. And you don't never not take the help. Like, God send people to you in different ways, and you might not see it, but there's some good people out here that'll try to help you get where you want to go. So never stop and always take the help for sure.
Perfect. Persistence and be gracious enough to accept assistance. Be humble enough to receive your blessings because that's really the only way you're going to receive it. Because being cocky and being, just full of yourself, you can chase away that blessing that's incoming. Perfect.
Yeah.
So Pops, you started contemplating retiring from professional basketball somewhere around, I want to say 22, while you were in Argentina. I think I kind of they kind of talk you out that year, and you decided you're gonna go over to Turkey. But then the love of your life, your wife, and the mother of your expecting child You got married in the year 2022.
What's up, man? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey,
I'm good, man.
good, thanks. Okay, man.
Thank you. You're coming from
Yeah,
inside?
some up on the vehicle.
Okay.
And that's when you decided, okay, listen, see, please. That's when you decided you definitely want to be home, raising your family, and starting a new life.
Mhm.
So you pretty much retired last year and back home now. Even though technically you could go on, you could have gone on with this thing for 4 or 5 more years if you want.
Mhm.
How was that decision?
Yeah, I don't regret it at all, honestly. I felt like I gave basketball not everything, but I'm satisfied with how I left. I didn't leave
Yes,
on an injury. I wasn't forced out the game. It was just something I did on my choice.
yes, yes.
So,
Back to the numbers. This is actually your best year in
hmm
terms of average. So you left on a high,
yeah,
and this is always how we want to leave. We want to leave with our wings still flapping, not being grounded by defeat or by dissatisfaction.
yeah, exactly.
So, as you start this new leg of your journey, marriage, fatherhood, uh, a new career, what are your, how do you see your future? What's in your immediate future?
Right now, it's just being a great husband and a great father. Honestly, you know, I feel like that's a father is something I wanted to be for a long time. Honestly, so that's something I want to be great at, and then in turn be a great husband. So right now,
Definitely,
that's my main focus. Like nothing else matters, but my wife or my daughter, family. So
definitely, definitely. Well, Pops, again, I appreciate you coming on tonight. Like I tell the people, you're a supremely private person, and you know, this is this will be archived in the annals of YouTube history for our generation and the next generation and the next generation to see your kids, my kids, which is your brothers, your sisters, and therefore it was important for us to do this, and it was important for me as a father to speak with my son about his exploits and his experiences. So I appreciate you and I thank you. If you have any last shout outs or anything you want to say, now's the time.
you know, shout outs. I always have to shout out mommy, grandma,
Of course.
grandma's on both sides.
Yeah,
So that I main thing. But me that it's just popping in my head when I think about you say anything more that happened while I did overseas. I think me did
please.
talk to you about this too. But me did tell you about when they blow up a mall close to where me did.
What?
So we'll play a game. We'll play a game. We end up winning.
Hold on. So you're saying Somebody blow up on man. Talk to me about this.
Yeah. So no, it was can't remember the date exactly, but it was after a game. We're leaving the
Where
game
was it?
in Turkey.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a home game, and then driving home, trying to use my phone, nothing happening. So apparently in Turkey, the government can shut down all means of communication.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't send a text, no social media, you can't make a call on your phone somehow. So I see that none of that's working, and then uh, I think it was a translator. He came up to me and he said that somebody blew up a mall in Istanbul. It's probably like an hour from where I am.
Yeah, you were about an hour away by ferry ride from Istanbul, right?
They telling us once that happened, they're trying to see if it was like a terrorist attack or something, but they shut down all means of communication. I couldn't get in touch with anybody, but it was just, Turkey was just a trip to remember.
You have had quite an eventful ride, Pops. And you know, the Jamaican that you are has prepared you for this journey. And like I said before, I appreciate you. And I'm sure my viewers and my audience would have enjoyed this little journey that you took us on.
Definitely. It's my pleasure. Like I
Yeah,
said,
man,
it was about time for me to make an appearance.
definitely. So this is the TV I can talk. We're out. Conversation with my son, Clint Robinson Jr. Enough respect, Pops. All right.
This is it TV. I can talk. Where the icons talk.